You know the story, right? Jupiter, the big guy, the king of the planets, he's our great protector, a cosmic bodyguard out there shielding us from all the nasty stuff. But what if that's not the whole story? What if it's only half the truth? Today we are going to dive headfirst into the really complex and honestly kind of surprising debate about our giant neighbor. So, what is it? Is Jupiter our guardian angel? Or is it maybe our greatest threat? We're going to dig into the case for both sides of the argument, and we'll start with that grand reputation it has, as our protector. This is a wild story of gravity, chaos, and, well, our very fragile place in the universe.
Yeah, for decades, the story we've told ourselves has been pretty simple. Jupiter is the good guy, right? The friendly giant whose massive gravity just shapes everything around us, and always for the better.
You hear this analogy all the time, Jupiter as a cosmic vacuum cleaner. And it's a great image, isn't it? It just paints this perfect picture of a huge guard out there in the dark, sucking up all the dangerous comets and asteroids before they ever get a chance to come near us. But what's really behind that? Where does it get all that power?
Well, here's why. It's just enormous. We're talking about a planet whose diameter is almost 11 times Earth's. It outweighs all the other planets in our solar system combined. Seriously, in a gravitational sense, it's not even a fair fight. Jupiter is the undisputed heavyweight champion, and everything else just has to play by its rules.
Okay, so let's get into the evidence. What actually makes so many scientists call Jupiter our planetary shield? Is that whole vacuum cleaner thing just a nice story we tell ourselves, or is there some hard data to back it up?
This right here, this is probably Exhibit A for the Guardian argument. In 1994, the entire world was watching as comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 just slammed right into Jupiter. I mean, it left impact scars that were bigger than our entire planet. Each one of those pieces could have been a total game ender for us. Jupiter literally, and I mean literally, took one for the team.
And look, that Shoemaker-Levy thing, that was not a one-off. The sheer scale of this is, well, it's staggering. Scientists think that comet impacts happen on Jupiter over 2,000 times more often than they do on Earth. 2,000! It's just constantly getting bombarded, acting like this giant cosmic shield in a thunderstorm.
And it's not just about tanking the hits either. Jupiter's gravity is also like this masterful shepherd. It keeps the main asteroid belt mostly in check, between it and Mars. And it's also really, really good at deflecting those long-period comets that swing in from the super-distant Oort cloud, sometimes just grabbing them and flinging them right out of the solar system entirely.
Okay, so that's the case for Jupiter the Guardian. It's a pretty strong case, right? But here's where the story takes a turn, because recent research is starting to paint a much more complicated and, frankly, much more dangerous picture. Let's look at the case for Jupiter as a foe.
So where does the trouble start? Well, it starts with these things called Kirkwood gaps. They're basically these weird empty lanes in the asteroid belt. And you can think of them as gravitational danger zones. See, if an asteroid drifts into one of these gaps, its orbit lines up perfectly with Jupiter's. It's called orbital resonance. Imagine pushing someone on a swing. If you push it just the right moment, every single time, they go higher and higher. That's what Jupiter does. It gives these little gravitational kicks that build up and up until the asteroid's orbit becomes completely chaotic and unstable.
So here's the play-by-play. Step 1. Some random asteroid just drifts into one of these Kirkwood gaps. Step 2. Jupiter's resonant gravity starts messing with its orbit, destabilizing it. Step 3. That asteroid gets violently kicked out of the belt. And Step 4. Well, its new path sends it hurtling into the inner solar system, potentially right across Earth's path. Not great.
And listen, this is not just some wild theory. This is real. The potentially hazardous asteroid Bennu? Yeah, scientists are pretty sure it got ejected from the asteroid belt by this exact process. Bennu is one of the most dangerous asteroids we know about, and in this case, Jupiter didn't stop the threat, it was the one who aimed the weapon. So you end up with this totally wild dual role. When it comes to those long-period comets coming in from way out in the Oort cloud, Jupiter is a guardian, a shield. But when it comes to the asteroids in the inner solar system, our own neighbors, Jupiter can be a foe. Its gravity can be the very thing that turns a harmless space rock into a major threat.
But to really, truly get Jupiter, we have to rewind the clock. I'm talking way, way back. Because before it was ever a guardian or a foe, Jupiter was an architect. Its massive gravity didn't just maintain the solar system, it's the reason the solar system looks the way it does.
So let's go back about 4.5 billion years ago.
The young solar system was a mess, and Jupiter, which formed really, really fast, didn't just sit there. It started moving around. It migrated inward toward the sun and then back out again. And as it moved, its massive gravity acted like a giant cosmic bulldozer, just pushing material all over the place, carving out huge gaps and totally reshaping the disk where the planets were forming. This chaos is key.
And this architect phase has a huge legacy. First, that bulldozing, it's probably why we have an asteroid belt instead of another full-blown planet between Mars and Jupiter. It also explains those weird Trojan asteroids that are kind of trapped in Jupiter's orbit. And here's the biggest one. That chaos might have been exactly what was needed to sling water-rich comets and asteroids toward us, delivering the ingredients that made life on Earth possible in the first place.
All right, so we've looked at all the evidence, the spectacular saves, the dangerous curveballs it throws our way, and its absolutely critical role in building the whole system. So, where does that leave us? What's the final verdict? Is our giant neighbor a friend or a foe?
The answer is, it's complicated. I know, not very satisfying, right? But it's the truth. Jupiter isn't a simple hero, and it's not a simple villain. It is this incredibly powerful, chaotic, and ultimately necessary force. The very same power that protects us is the exact same power that puts us in danger. It's a total double-edged sword.
So let's tally it up. It's a friend because it shields us from deep space comets. It's a foe because it slingshots asteroids right into our path. It's the architect that shaped our entire solar system, and it's the provider that likely delivered the water in our oceans. Think about that. Without Jupiter, life on Earth might never have even started. But because of Jupiter, it could all end one day. That's the crazy paradox of our giant neighbor.
And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending question. If a planet like Jupiter is both a threat and a necessity for life, what does that mean for our search for another Earth out there? When we look for other habitable worlds, should we be looking for a nice, quiet, safe solar system? Or does life actually need a little bit of danger, a little bit of chaos, stirred up by a powerful, unpredictable, and totally essential giant just like ours?